It's time for EdTech Mondays, brought to you by MasterCard Foundation and CC Hub.
Hello everyone and welcome to the EdTech Mondays Nigeria show. It's another exciting episode where we'll be continuing the conversation on building digital tools that empower teachers and learners. With me today is another amazing guest. Yes, I know all our guests are amazing. We understand how important the education sector is, and we bring only the best to the show. Joining me today on the show to share another insightful experience is a coach at Teach for Nigeria, Jemima Nnamdi Iweha. Allow me to introduce Jemima, who has been actively involved in the education sector for over 18 years. Her contributions span from designing innovative learning spaces for students to providing vital support to educators. She's an instructional designer and currently supports teachers to amplify students' voices and deliver on community impact. Hello, Jemima. Welcome to the EdTech Mondays Nigeria show. It's an honor to have you here today.
Thank you so much.
For our listeners who are not aware that an organization like Teach for Nigeria exists, could you please share what you do at Teach for Nigeria?
Okay. Teach for Nigeria is a non-profit organization. And I would say that we are a community of change makers. We build collective leadership to the end that one day, every Nigerian child will have the opportunity to access an excellent education. Not just that, core of the mission is that we recruit young graduates from different academic fields and experiences, and we train them to become leaders in the communities where we place them. So there are 3 levels. They learn how to lead themselves. They learn how to lead others. So lead others includes teaching from the classroom, collaborating with stakeholders. And they also learn how to lead the community.
Great. With what you've said now, where your primary goal really is to ensure that every child has access to
Quality
education, how do digital tools play a role? And I'm asking this because I know that your fellows are sometimes even sent to, far-flung areas in Nigeria. I've heard about a fellow who, he said he was teaching in a remote school in somewhere in Osun State, and all what he was using to captivate the learners were his laptop and laptop of his colleagues to visualize the teaching that he was meant to be doing just on the regular chalkboard. So help me know, what has been the impact of digital tools in transforming the experience for teaching with your fellows?
Okay, so I'll start this way. So I'm going to give you an overview, what we do as an organization, and then I'm going to narrow it down to what the fellows do. And I think currently we are very active in Lagos and Ogun State. So as an organization, when we bring in these fellows, we like to role model, we show them what we want them to do. Starting from the Pre-Service Training Institute, if you're going to be a leader, you have to be strong when it comes to business communication, digital literacy. So from their training, which is an intense, almost about 6 weeks hybrid, we have a designated Google Classroom. So a space for asynchronous learning activities.
What does asynchronous learning mean?
So you don't have to come on live.
Okay,
so you can have the app. There are learning resources there. You go there and you learn.
Okay.
Then the synchronous is when they come online, Zoom. We leverage the Zoom platform. We also leverage WhatsApp. Collaborative learning spaces. So everybody.
And all of these are digital platforms actually for learning.
Are.
So they're EdTech tools already that you're deploying just from the teacher training bit of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that is what we do with them. So they collaborate, they come online, they talk about what they've read, in the Google Classroom.
Okay.
The Google Classroom, they can also make comments. They can also, comment on what somebody else has already posted. When they are placed to their communities, we ensure they do data-driven decision making.
Okay.
You don't just come to a class and say, they can't read.
Okay.
They can't identify letters. What baseline was conducted? What is the progress? Fellows learn how to build templates from what we have shown them using the Google Sheets. to show and track literacy progress.
Google Sheets being
It's an app, it's a tool, it's like an Excel sheet, and with some formulas you can track and say, okay, this learner was here, couldn't read this is what I have done. At the end of the term, this is what it is.
with all you've said now, and I'm sure our listeners are taking note, you haven't called any sophisticated tools yet. And it's a very common, misconception when people hear EdTech tools. They're waiting to hear perhaps, products that cost $200 per user or are just cost a lot to subscribe to. However, Google Sheets, you have access to it provided you have a Gmail account, right?
Absolutely.
Excel, really, you have access to it whether or not you have, a Gmail account. So what you're trying to tell us now is that some of these EdTech tools, that we speak about rather ambiguously are things that we already have access to and can be remodeled to support education.
Exactly. So we tell our fellows it's not about the tool, it's about the task, the engagement. I'll give you an example. I recently had a fellow, she connected her classroom to another classroom in Kenya just using the Zoom platform. So they came on board, they had a goal, they were learning about different cultures. They made colored, it was a primary 2 class, so they painted the Nigerian flag. And then the other class did theirs.
And
they came
painted,
online.
yeah.
And she used her phone. By that time, now she has gotten a projector. Then she didn't have a projector. It was just her laptop and her phone. Her partner came over from primary 5 to assist her. Yes, they are crowded. We are working on that, so gradually. But of course, the fact is that learners were able to connect with other learners, same space.
So now let's talk about how these digital tools empower teachers. What impact have these tools had on educational outcomes? How has it improved how teachers teach? Are there any differences that you've noticed when these teachers use these tools compared to when, they just go into the classroom armed with their big Ababio textbooks and a chalk or a marker to teach on the board?
Okay, let me take it this way. I'll talk about reduction in stress level. A very good example is lesson planning. And so lesson planning for a teacher takes time. And sometimes if it's going to be 3 or 4 subjects, it can take more time.
And sometimes these teachers teach A, B, C, D, E, F to Z.
Exactly. In our last concluded pre-service training institute, we had a training section on the use of AI and ChatGPT.
AI is
Artificial intelligence.
Okay.
And then ChatGPT, especially for lesson planning.
Okay.
I reviewed the lesson note from one of my fellow and I said, this is good. And he told me, he said, Coach, I used AI. Reduction in time, so he has time for other things, especially when it comes to assessment. So that is the first impact I see. So they are not stressed. They do their work quickly, and then they have more impacts there. Another impact I also see for them, before I even go to the learners, is that they know that now they're in a digital world space, they can learn from others. So they leverage the trainings we give them, especially when it comes to tracking students' assessments. They leverage that learning, and they replicate the same in their class. So let's talk about assessments. Sometimes when there's a class and there is differentiation, let's say you have a class of 55 learners, and you have about 10 that are extended learners, and you have about 20 that are at the support level. These ones need more time. Sometimes they need a different kind of worksheets. Sourcing these worksheets online is another thing. They do have access. Sometimes they don't have access to printer, but those that do get this worksheet. So time management is faster because now they have worksheets for the lower learning, those in the lower learning groups.
Great. Then still on, teacher training and support, what type of policy advancements or advices would you want to see that would support the large-scale adoption of EdTech resources to promote teaching? We have a lot of teachers who sometimes do not even know that these devices or products or resources are available. Some teachers are opposed to using digital because they feel it will take away my job. I'll become redundant, right? So what are the policy measures that can be taken that can promotes the large-scale adoption of digital tools for teacher training and development?
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. It all starts from the belief, like you mentioned. It starts from teachers' belief. If we can work on teachers' belief, and then the rest is as easy as pizza. Certain policies that have to put in place has to be building capacity. One of the things EdTech tools will do for you as a teacher is increases your capacity. So you have a wide range of tools available, and you know that you can use anyone. And these are simple tools that you can use. Another thing, again, the policy can do is also to build collaborative spaces. When teachers are alone, sometimes it looks overwhelming. But if you're in a group where you sit down with other teachers and probably you're doing your unit plan or lesson plan, and then you're taking resources and sharing resources. At Teach for Nigeria, at a point we sat down, we had to come up with a fellowship resource bank. So teachers that have taught, they share their experiences.
Peer mentoring.
Exactly. So they kept everything in a folder, and you can easily access this thing, look at it, and then shaping up where you have challenges. So policies that can cover for collaborative spaces, policies that can cover for capacity. I think it should be mandatory, that teachers read, let's say, a blog a week, or maybe listen to a podcast. I mean, if you are the auditory learner. So that could come in as something that is mandatory. For us, we have monthly trainings via Zoom, and they also have coaching conversations with their coaches, that's their support coaches, for the work they do in the classroom.
It's been an amazing experience listening to you, Jemima. As a parting shot, could you just give us in 30 seconds something encouraging to the teachers out there who are looking to improve their skills in the use of digital technology?
Thank you, Chinelo. I'm excited to be here. To every teacher out there, I want to let you know that you are beloved. I know it can be stressful sometimes. So I saw an image lately that said, I don't feel like today. And I was just thinking, how many teachers like that wake up and you don't feel like going out? I just want to tell you that you are beloved. And because of you, your life can be different because of what you do every day. I need you to add not just passion, if you can add a bit of consistency, to your passion, and just some spice of commitment. I think the world will be a better place. Thank you.
We would love to hear from you. How important are digital tools in improving teachers and learners? Send us an SMS or a WhatsApp message on 0703 165 0809 to let us know what you think. You could also join our very vibrant Telegram and WhatsApp channels on EdTech Mondays Nigeria to continue the conversation. Till next time, I remain Chinyelu Akpa. See you on the next episode. It's bye for now.
EdTech Monday is proudly brought to you by MasterCard Foundation and CC Hub.